All right, so we know how to understand a fraction as a count of objects. How do we understand a fraction as a point on the number line? So here's a number line. Let's say I wanted to represent the fraction 5/4 as a point on the number line and as a vector. Well, remember what these parts of a fraction tell me. The denominator tells me how many pieces I must cut each unit into. So let's see. Now, this is a unit, right? From 0 out to 1 is a unit. From 1 out to 2 is a unit, and so on. The first thing that I notice is that all the pieces will be the same size, right? The unit from 0 out to 1 is the same size as the unit from 1 out to 2. So if I cut the unit from 0 to 1 into 4 equal pieces, or the unit from 1 to 2 into 4 equal pieces, right? Everything will all be the same size. I can keep copying that size going off to the right. Or indeed, going off to the left. Right. And I get each unit, for example, the unit from -2 up to -1, I get cut into 1, 2, 3, 4 equal pieces. Notice that you want to count the pieces, not the cuts. All right, then take a look at this teeny tiny little vector. Right. This teeny tiny little vector is just one of these pieces. 1/4. We call this a unit fraction. This thing corresponds to the slice of cake in the last video. This thing is the object that we're referring to when we say fourth. When we say 5/4, we mean 5 copies of the object called a fourth. So let's see what that looks like. So here's my fourth, another one, and another one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 5/4 is the length that starts from 0 and counts out 5 of these fourths. If we want to think of it as a point, it's this point out at the end. As a vector, it's the length from 0 out to that point. We think of 5/4 as 5 copies of 1/4. We can, of course, play the same game with negative fractions. Let's say we wanted to sketch -2/3 as a point and as a vector. Now I want to split my unit into 3 equal parts. Notice with the way I've drawn this on my graph paper, that's going to be a little bit trickier, but let's try to get them about equal. That looks about right. So I start from 0, and I count off 1, 2/3, going to the left because it's negative. This goes to the left because it's negative. I've split my unit into 3 equal parts because the denominator is 3. And I've taken 2 of those parts, again, going to the left because it's negative.